It's a beautiful November morning, and it's time for a fall garden tour of the foundation beds in our front yard. I'm Laura from Garden Sanity, and in today's video, you'll see colorful evergreens in different shades of blue and green. You'll see vibrant fall foliage from our ornamental maples. You'll see our knockout roses still going strong, and you'll see something that surprised me that's already starting to bloom. Let's get started. So I can't believe it's early November, and this is still what all these knockout roses look like. Let me step back a little bit so you can see. This is one of the two foundation beds we have in our front yard. It's beautiful. So this one is filled. When you, at first glance, what do you see? You see knockout roses and an ornamental maple that is just stunning. I am so glad I can capture this color for you. And then the other plant that you see prominently is the lavender. And this is an evergreen lavender, and it's called Lavender Phenomenal. But there's a little bit more to this bed than meets the eye. So down here, in front of the lavender, and sort of along the edge, you can see it a little bit, we've got Candytuft. And this is a great plant. Here it does better than in other beds. It does need a decent amount of moisture if it's going to be in full sun. But you can see it's already starting some new growth. What's nice about Candytuft is it's evergreen. I call it alyssum on steroids because it's got beautiful white flowers in the springtime. And the white flowers are almost, as you can see from this picture, you can't even see any green leaves. But in the wintertime, it's got a nice evergreen to it. It's small, as you can tell. It's very small. I mean, compare the size of that to the knockout rose bushes. But it provides some nice evergreen color. I wish I could get it to spread more, but I think the sun is still a little too harsh. These plants right here, they do well. Like, look at that one over, this one right there. That one does well because it's basically covered all summer. Whereas these get a little more sun, and you can see they've got a lot of stems that I could trim off. I'm just going to leave them for now. I may come out here with snips and just get some of the brown off. In fact, I know I will do that. Probably not today. There you can see all the way back. If I was a little girl, I'd be playing with my dolls under here somehow. That's what I used to do in my parents' gardens. It was just so magical. So stepping back again, we've got knockout roses that, and I'll step back more so you can see the height. I mean, look at the height. Pardon, the sun is doing some funky things early this morning. I don't know if it's showing up on the camera. And yeah, there's some yellow going on. It's early November. Some of these roses are dealing with a little bit of frost. But oh my goodness, how could I let these go? I'm still deadheading, and I will have these blooming as long as I can. So these go all the way around, and I'm coming all the way up to the edge of this bed. So this extreme edge of the bed, and yes, the ground sunk a little bit, so there's now a break in between that drain pipe and where it goes into the ground. But right here, it's just usually dry because the drain pipe goes into the backyard, and so there's nothing really that, other than rainfall, not a lot of moisture here. So yes, this plant is dried now, but what this is Verbena Bonariensis, and it is just a great perennial. I love this. It grows whether it's too dry. It grows in the backyard where it's too wet. Some people consider it a weed. I will take it. Look how pretty the dried flowers look. That is so pretty. So I tried that here this year, and because it did so well, I think I'm going to let it reseed and plant more of it, and maybe I'll plant a little something in front of it that can handle the dryness. And then here against the foundation, in fact, maybe I gotta hold up the camera so you can see it higher because I'm short. But all along the back is Euonymus. And in the wintertime is when this really shines because the roses I cut down. Yes, I cut them in the fall, not the spring. Don't hate me. It's always worked for me, and I swear by it. It works. And then if we have a decent winter, the ornamental maple loses its leaves. In mild winters, that doesn't happen. But if all goes well and it loses its leaves and it has really funky looking twigs, what you see then is the Euonymus, and it just shines. It's beautiful. You can see it's developing its berries. These berries are all going to turn a really neat orange, almost like a pinky orange. You can see it starting to develop now. Birds love these. Look at all these. Isn't that beautiful? So I'm thrilled with how well these plants do. I just keep them trimmed. I try to keep them trimmed below the windowsill. Not always easy to do. But they're basic, but they work. So I like those a lot. Nice and bushy. And now let's come back around to show you a little bit more. We interrupt this program to show you the beautiful morning color of the Crepe Myrtle in the center bed. Isn't it gorgeous? This is the best year. Oh my goodness, let me get closer to show you. Look at that color. I know. I'm supposed to be talking about the foundation beds, but I just gotta show you this color. It's just so pretty. When you look at it from our second floor windows, it's got like a pink cast to it from some of the red leaves. But this just turned yesterday. You can see a little bit of the green left on these leaves, which makes it, I think, all the more beautiful. It is stunning. All right, now back to the program. So this ornamental maple is beautiful. It's basically green color. In the spring, the stems you can really tell are coral. But right now, it's just glowing orange and yellow, which is stunning. Now, what I will show you is some of the white on the tips here. And that is from Tropical Storm Euonymus, when everything got burned by the salty winds. So I kind of did a number on that tree too. And it didn't show up right away, but that's what that is. I do like some of these neat twigs. Let me go up this way so you can see better. That's what a lot of the tree looks like. And when the leaves fall, which I kind of hope they do in the wintertime, when they stay on, it's sort of just like, looks like brown fuzz, and that's okay. But boy, oh boy, when they fall and you can just see the twigs, it's real pretty. And then down here, as I mentioned, is the evergreen lavender. This lavender is called Lavender Phenomenal. It's an American bred lavender, which means it can handle our gardens much better than some of the English, the French, the Spanish lavenders. And you might notice, oh, well, you got some holes in there. That's not attractive. Well, I'll tell you what I'm doing. I don't cut it down like a lot of lavenders you would do. You would cut all the way down for the fall. I don't do that because this is evergreen in the wintertime. I mean, one of the reasons you want to grow this is because look at this beautiful color. This color will last all winter long. But let me show you back here. Right down here. These are newer plants that I planted. I purposely did this because what I'm doing is I'm filling in the gaps. We've had these plants, the original Lavender Phenomenal, we've had them probably about 5 years now. And what I'm doing is I'm filling in the gaps. So as some of these get older and woody, you see like right down here, look how, how woody all that is. Well, eventually this is just going to look ugly. But these guys are the newer ones I planted this past spring, in May. These will eventually fill in, get bigger, and then my goal is, if need be, I just trim these out. So I'm just going to constantly not constantly, but I'm going to fill in and remove older dead plants as I need. And again, it's not that the plants are dead, it's just that, like, let's look in here. You see, if I can get in there, there you go. You just see all that part is kind of the dead part. But you also see that on the edges of the dead stuff, you've got new stuff growing. If I left this, all this new stuff would grow, as I probably will leave it, and in the summertime you don't even notice it because it all grows, it fills in, it hides all the dead stuff. And then when it's in full bloom, let me slip in a picture right now so you can see it in full bloom. It's just beautiful. And then just to go up and show you a little bit here. So you got another little plant back here that I planted. That's doing nicely. And then you see the wall of Euonymus. That window right there is where our cat Ivan usually watches me garden. Oh, look at that nice piece of trash. That's got to be from Halloween. Not from us. Anyway, so a fun fact about this particular lavender is that I trimmed this back in the dark. I came out last week because I still hadn't trimmed it. I had planned on showing you how I prune this back, but it just got too late, and I said, you know what, I better just prune it. So I did it in the dark. And you can see all these stems I left. So I'm going to come back in here with my snips and just snip all that off. So with this bed, what would my plans be for it? What I'd like to do, especially because I do get frustrated with the Candytuft in the summer, is right here where I said to you I can see all the way back. What I'd like to do is right in this hole here. Next spring I'm going to put a blue star juniper there because it'll have beautiful color in the winter time because, like I said, I cut all these stems back, all these knockout roses. You cut all those back, there's not much to look at, so I need a couple evergreens in here just to kind of perk up the bed a little bit. So that's this side of the bed. But then, of course, we've got another side of the bed to show you.